What if I told you addiction isn't the problem? Whether it's alcohol, smoking, porn, sugar, or work, they are just symptoms. The real issue is deeper, buried under years of stress, trauma, and unresolved emotions. You're not weak, you're not broken. You're trying to solve a problem in the only way known to you. But what if I tell you there is a better way? A way to heal the cause, not just the symptoms. Stay with me because what I'm about to share could set you free from something that you're struggling with for years. If you're yet to subscribe the channel, click the subscribe button so that you are the first to stay updated when I upload a video. Hello friends, if you're watching this, chances are you or someone who you know is struggling with addiction. It could be alcohol, smoking, porn, or just hard work. You may be at the peak of your career, leading big companies, making big decisions, and yet there's something that's pulling you down. Today, we are not just talking about addiction, we are going to go a lot deeper. We will source the real cause of addiction. Because unless we address the cause, address the source, the addiction will only keep shifting from one form to another. Friends, addiction is rarely about the substance or the behavior itself. It's a coping mechanism for something deeper. Dr. Gabor Matt, a renowned expert on addiction, he tells addiction is not a problem. It's an attempt to solve a problem. Therefore, the question is not why the addiction, but the real question is why the pain. Most corporate executives deal with stress, high expectations, loneliness, and pain. There are unresolved childhood trauma. Studies suggest that high powered professionals are more prone to addiction because of the heavy stress that they deal with. The National Institute of Drug Abuse (NIDA) suggests that the stress-related neurochemicals changes in the brain make executives more prone to addiction. Now let's talk about different forms of addiction one by one and also understand their causes. Let's start with alcohol addiction. Alcohol often brings a way to numb stress, social anxiety, or emotional pain. A study from National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism found that executives who consume alcohol as a coping mechanism are at high risk of dependence due to chronic cortisol levels. Cortisol is the hormone that causes stress. Second is psychedelic drug use. Many executives turn to psychedelic for stress relief, creativity, or spiritual escape. A study was conducted by Johns Hopkins University that tells while psychedelics can have therapeutic potential, but repeated use without guidance can lead to dependency or altered state of consciousness. The third is smoking. Nicotine addiction is deeply associated with stress regulation. Harvard Medical School shows that executives who smoke often do so as a quick fix to manage stress, as nicotine temporarily boosts dopamine but leads to greater dependency over time. Fourth is pornography addiction. Porn addiction is largely driven by loneliness, unresolved emotional trauma, or intimacy issues. Studies from American Psychological Association suggest that excessive porn consumption rewires the brain's reward system, leading to decreased real-world connection and increased stress. Next is sex addiction. Sex addiction, much like porn addiction, is often rooted to unresolved emotional trauma, fear of intimacy, or a need for validation. The research from Journal of Behavioral Addiction found that compulsive sexual behavior is linked to emotional deregulation and avoidance coping mechanisms. We cannot ignore sugar addiction. Many executives turn to sugar as a comfort food due to high stress and lack of proper nutrition. Research from National Institute of Health suggests that sugar addiction hijacks brain's reward pathways similarly to drugs. To break free from addiction, you need to heal the cause, not just the symptoms. You have not been able to address addiction because It's like you've been driving a car without looking at the signboard. So before you think of resolving, slow down, take time to reflect, and ask these questions. What am I running from? Is this stress? Is this fear of failure? Is that loneliness? Start journaling the thoughts that come to your mind. The next thing that you can do is create a healing environment. Surround yourself with people, places, and routines that reduce stress rather than increasing it. Change in environment can also help you break the habits. The next thing is regulate your nervous system. Practices like meditation, breath work, and mindfulness can rewire your stress response, making it less likely to see escape through addiction. A Harvard related study suggests meditation reduces the stress related cravings by more than 50%. The next is seek therapy or coaching. Working with an executive coach or therapist can help you uncover the stress and the deeper things that's troubling you. Cognitive behavior therapy has been found useful in treating addictive behavior by reshaping thoughts. The next thing that you can do is to replace destructive habits with the constructive ones. Instead of alcohol, you can engage in exercise. Instead of scrolling your mobile phone again and again, you can pick up a book or listen to an insightful podcast. This is the most important thing, friends. Reframe success. Many executives link success with constant pressure and high performance. They treat it like a battlefield. But the true success includes well being, both physical and emotional. The study from American Psychological Association found that executives with work life balance perform better in the long run. If you have tried resolving the addiction yourself, but you have not been able to do that, go and seek help from a coach, from a healer, or a therapist. Having an accountability partner makes transformation faster and easier. Friends, to break free from addiction, people give a lot of credit to willpower. But in reality, it's more about self awareness and healing. And not to forget, true leadership is not just about leading others, but also to lead yourself to better and healthier life. See you soon in the next video.